Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos, the paid request, this time from Masi. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it. PayPal is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Ripley, Season 1, Episode 1. Now, when he said Ripley, I was so stupid. For a split second, I thought, oh, they made another Ripley's Believe It or Not? I like that stuff. Cool. No, it's not. Is Dean Kane back? No. This is about, there was a book, The Talented Mr. Ripley, which then, what year did that come out? There was a movie with Matt Damon, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, Philip Seymour Hoffman that came out. I think the director of The English Patient made it. Did well at the box office. I think it doubled his budget. Got some good critical notices. But this is a Netflix show based on that story, where Andrew Scott, not Sergeant Andrew Scott, that'd be a different Universal Soldier. Ripley just walked around with ears around his neck. Do you hear me? But actor Andrew Scott, he plays Tom. It takes place in 1961. And what I liked about it was filmed in very beautiful, sleek black and white, which is very risky because a lot of companies don't really like having a black and white anything because they feel the majority of people will turn them off and make them uninterested. They'll automatically think it's old, and it's old hat. It's not for the young ones. It's not for the young kids. There are a lot of people today that will complain about black and white, and so then that means you're cutting off a piece of the audience already. But I guess with Netflix and with this type of story, they're like, hey, do what you want. And the black and white, definitely some nice looking shots with the photography of it. I would say that was the best part of it. And you see like someone driving down a body as his cat watches. I thought the way that was photographed, it did make me chuckle. Like, you hear something and you see his body coming down, and the camera cuts to a cat just going, as if, you dumbass. Must have been a well-behaved cat, because just stayed there and didn't move or anything. And that cuts to 6 months earlier. So obviously, sooner or later we'll go back to that scene. We have Tom, who's a con man, and we see a bit of his life where he's in a rundown apartment, and we see how he does his cons, which I thought was decent enough to showcase sort of his perspective of how he's able to show his intelligence, how he'll find, there's this one place and he'll look through the mail real quick and steal some people's checks. And then he'll fake writing notices, like, hello there, we haven't gotten this check. Yes, I've sent it. Well, then, if you don't want to get a fee, just saying, we never got a check. Send it to this place in this location. And he'll get the checks, and then he'll have a fake ID and have all these checks. And you gotta understand, this is 1961. This is before there'd be a lot more you could check someone's ID. Not so much in 1961. If you knew how to write cursive well to mimic other people's, I would go say autographs, but their writing, and you're able to get, this good fake ID, you could get away with a lot more than you could back in the could nowadays. So one day he's in a bar, and Bim Woodbine, who I've seen in quite a few stuff, Caught Up being one of them. He's been in a lot of stuff, Bim Woodbine. I think he was in the Dawn of the Dead remake. He's a private investigator and says, are you Tom? You seem like the description. Anyway, you're supposed to see this guy, Mr. Greenleaf. And hey, I did my job. You do what you want. So he goes to see what this guy's about, and he's a rich guy who wants his son to come home. He thinks that Tom is Tom Ripley, who's a childhood friend of his son. Now, granted, you're thinking that Mr. Greenleaf would do a little bit more background check, even in 1961, of some way, shape, or form, to make sure this guy is who he says he is, to confirm his identity. Because, again, anybody can be like, sure, my name's Tom. What's up? Again, I don't know why Mr. Greenleaf didn't do at least, again, a little bit amount of... There's got to be some way to do some kind of background check in 1961, but he just believes it very easily. Sure, you must be Tom Ripley. You must be the friend of my son. Especially when he's going to give him all this money. Like, I want you to go to Italy and bring him back. I'm going to pay for everything. I'm going to, if you need more, just tell me. Here's all this money, this and that. So, of course, he jumps at the chance. Takes what he can, his typewriter and stuff. Goes to Italy. It's a lengthy journey. Meets the guy, Dicky, who has a girlfriend played by Dakota Fanning. I'm like, damn, it's been a while since I've seen Dakota Fanning in something. Just back to the day she was in Man on Fire with Denzel Washington, War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. So it was nice to see her again. I'm like, oh shit, it's been a while. She's definitely grown. And he meets them, and it's kind of awkward, and you don't remember me, do you? And you get that Dicky kind of feels bad, he doesn't remember, so he invites him a little bit into their place. And you see that Tom's a little bit infatuated with the guy, and then the last scene you see is him kind of practicing in front of a mirror. Yes, my name is Dicky. Now, you don't get a whole lot of Dakota Fanning. Obviously, there's going to be throughout the rest of the show. Same with Dicky. It's only like the last 10 or so minutes. It's definitely much more of an introduction to the setup of the story. Andrew Scott, didn't do a bad job. I mean, so far I didn't see anything that was mesmerizing or creepy or scary or maybe pause. But I guess you could say he didn't really have a whole lot to do other than stealing checks, doing his cons, falsely looked at as Tom Ripley, and he jumps at the chance to this because he realizes just how crummy his apartment is. Like, there's a bit where he's trying to shower and it shuts off, and then like the sewage or whatever builds up out of the bottom of the shower, which I don't know where it was at. I guess maybe a puppet shower it looked like. But yeah, I don't know how things were in 1960s. But like I said, the acting I had no issues with. The photography is stunning. Like a beautiful black and white photography. Again, it's an introduction. Wasn't too shabby of an intro to set up what kind of person Tom is. And I guess it just give people a little bit of taste. And then the rest of it's going to be, well, just how he gets himself into this couple and starts trying to take Dicky's life away to become this guy. Because I do know the gist of the story is that eventually he wants to have that Dicky guy's life. I think he gets away with it, from what little I remember of the story. I think he does get away with it. Because I think he does kill the guy, and then he gets away with it. And I don't know if Dakota Fanning's character, I don't know if she gets killed or not. I'm talking about like the original movie and the book before it. I mean, I vaguely remember Matt Damon's performance. I would say Andrew Scott's definitely more low-key, more subtle of a performance. If that's better or worse, I don't know. Maybe after all the episodes, then it's better to gauge that. I know people say that Andrew Scott did a better job, Or I think some people said it's more like how the character was in the book. I never read the book. Bim Woodbine, it's too bad he was only in for a little bit. I don't know if he comes back later. Granted, it'd be a bit weird because he's a cop, he's a private eye in America, so I don't know why he would be sent to Italy when there's many cops and authorities in Italy, so if this is the only one he's in, it's kind of like, wow, they got him in for this one scene. That's a bit weird. So, sadly, not much of Bim Woodbine. I mean, the rich guy, the dad, seems like an idiot. Seems like a dumbass, a moron. I guess maybe that's the purpose, but yeah, you must be Tom Ripley. Sure, go ahead. Take all my money. Hey, I'm your son, too. Give me all your money, too. This guy's so stupid. If I do this, he think it was actual gun. Give me the money. Thank you. No, fuck off. But that's the setup from the story, to be fair. But with that said, yeah, I didn't really have a whole lot of issues with it. Like I said, my favorite part of it was the black and white photography, some of the camera shots, especially this bit where it's in a subway, he in a train, and he's a bit paranoid because he's wondering if someone knows what he's done, that he's a con man. So he thought he saw someone following him. So like he sees someone with a hat on the train, the other train. So there's a bit where he's like kind of staring over at him, and he's kind of like standing there, and you see like the train kind of go backward, I guess, as the trains are going on different paths. Oh, just the way that was shot. Also, the black and white hides the CG, just obviously there'd be CG work in there. So, seems the black and white hides the CG a bit better than if it was in color. But I don't know, just something about that shot. It sold to him being a bit paranoid. Obviously, because he's a criminal, that's why. I mean, I wouldn't say, based on the first episode, did I find the character interesting? No, because he didn't really have a whole lot to say other than doing his cons. But again, maybe that's one of those things that as it goes along, more gets peeled away to get to know the character more. So, yeah, save some stuff for later. There's another thing, like a lot of these shows, it's more like the 10 episodes is like one movie. That's how a lot of shows are done nowadays, where you're supposed to watch them all, and it's like watching one long mini-series of a movie. Just not how it was back to the day when I watched stuff, but that's the way of the times today. But did I think this was bad? No. So, with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.